Thank you all for coming over to Souter Alumni Center today to celebrate with us. This day has actually been a long time coming, and we're glad that it's finally here, and we're glad that you're all here with us. Before we get started, I would like to recognize and welcome some very special guests, and all of you are special to us, of course, and we're also happy to be here and honor Dr. DeWayne Sherry Backhus. They're wonderful. Thank you to President Michael Shonrock, under whose leadership our campaign has been so successful, and his wife Karen. Also like to welcome all of our university leadership, Provost David Cordell. It's a big room. There he is in the back. Thank you, David. Vice President Jim Williams. Who else do we have?
Ray's here.
Right here, Ray. Vice President Ray Haug. Thank you to you all. I see many of our former and current foundation trustees. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Our current chair, Kim Penner, who you'll hear from a little bit later. Thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to have you all with us today. As I mentioned, this day is a long time coming, and so this gift started, I think, more than a year ago, and now we're finally here to celebrate. So without further ado, I would like to turn it over to Dina Sue Potestio. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Wow, sorry. Wow. It's really a privilege to stand before you today to honor such a wonderful gift and a wonderful couple who have made a profound difference at Emporia State University. There are many guests here today who have driven long distances, come from a very long way because of their love for DeWayne and Sherry Backhus. Dr. Backhus has been with us at Emporia State University for decades. Sherry has been with us for a very long time as well and has served in our library and done a phenomenal job. Our campaign is more than about money. It's more than about money. I know that that sounds very counterintuitive. Our campaign is about success, and it's about love, and it's about family. And Dr. Backhus, Sherry, look at this family that's gathered here today to celebrate the wonderful gift that you're committing to Emporia State University. They've really embodied the heart and the soul of our effort, now and forever. The concept behind this is that we will inspire our friends and our family to give back to Emporia State, to our students, to our faculty, to our future now, as well as be inspired to give through their estate so that forever we can raise up our students and further strengthen Emporia State University. The planned gift that the Backhuses are making is significant. It's a 7-figure gift. It's tremendous. Would you join me in thanking DeWayne and Sherry for their amazing generosity? One of the icons of our campaign is Silent Joe. And we actually are saying that Silent Joe is silent no more and is a beacon of success across campus. We were just at Silent Joe and we welcomed Sherry and DeWayne to ring that bell. And we have what we call a little Joe in the back. And Ken, would you mind ringing that bell in honor of this amazing gift? With that, I would like to welcome Dr. Backhus to share with us some of his inspiration. And again, thank you, DeWayne, so much, Sherry, so much. You're amazing.
Comments like that can make a person seize up, if you know what I mean. This could be disaster for you if somebody took my notes. For those of you who know me, I no longer automatically wind to 50 minutes. Yeah, that's the president. The president is not bashful. Sherry and I thank all of you for being here today on behalf of Emporia State University. Let me say that with a little more emphasis. We want this bell ringer to be about the university and its future and not about us, and I'll try to reinforce that. We thought of remaining anonymous to control the traffic at the front door. Don't you understand what that means? But if by telling our story, some others are inspired to consider what might be possible, then telling our story will have been the right thing to do. If during these proceedings you hear a shriek and a voice that says, "DeWayne, what have you done?" That would be my mother. And if my father were here, he would say to my mother, "It's all your fault." When a 7-figure commitment is made, various thoughts may come to your mind. One may be that there was a pot of wealth in the background. Nothing could be further from the truth. And there's a couple here today who could attest to that. I could point them out if you would care for me to do that. Another thought may be that we lost our senses, or we never had any sense to begin with. You be the judge on that. Here's some of what guided our thinking. I was a product of a lot of circumstances. This is a highly improbable event, I can assure you. My parents had limited educational opportunities. My mother did finish high school and was proud of the fact that she was class valedictorian. If you asked my father about his education, he'd answer one of two ways. He would say, "I had a 6th grade education," or, with his own brand of humor, 6 years of the 1st grade. In a German language parochial school. Consequently, they had a profound respect for, reverence for education and what they thought it could do for a person and the future of that person. Sherry's parents shared that sentiment and were determined that she and her brother Rick also obtain an education. Another influence for my brother and me was a severe drought that gripped the Midwest from 1952 through 1957. As farmers, my parents were casualties of that drought. That was a difficult time, financially and emotionally. But what it showed my brother and I very clearly was that our lot in life was something other than agriculture. So, if the American dream played out for me, for us, it was because of education. I would not be here today if it weren't for scholarships, a fellowship, and other assistantship that I received for my various degree work. If you find today's announcement to be surprising, almost incredulous, we'd have been with you prior to 18 months ago. So what happened? No, we didn't win the lottery. That would be nice, but it didn't happen. In fact, I've never bought a Powerball ticket in my life. And that is probably symbolic of why we're able to do this. Well, I just wrecked the foundations for the funding of education in some states by making that comment. So what happened? Through some professional planning advice, we became aware of the potential role of charitable remainder unit trusts. Has anybody ever heard of that kind of a thing before? If you have. So that was something that was new to us. Through the right planning and the good behavior of the stock market. That's important, the good behavior of the stock market. You can laugh, the good behavior of the stock market. Sherry and I became convinced that we could be provided for comfortably. And some of you know I like to indulge in farm toys. Sherry likes to sail. And there's some other things that keep the economy going. So, through the right planning, we became convinced that we could be provided for. Family members could also benefit. Sherry's brother and sister-in-law, my brother and sister-in-law, and my 3 nephews. And then, through the remainder of a series of unit trusts, ESU would ultimately benefit as the primary recipient. When will all of this happen? Who knows? That's why we plan in advance. So keep an eye on the obits. Now that's coming as close to our mortality as I care to at this time. That may be the stairway to heaven, but I'm not ready to use it. So, for what are we specifying the funds? We currently have an undergraduate scholarship to which some of you have contributed. We thank you. There's always room for more. But we have specified 2 areas: graduate assistantships and capital equipment. Let me elaborate just briefly here. Competition for talented graduate students in chemistry, earth science, and physics is keen. Part of the gift proceeds on an annual basis, if you don't know when that is yet, would go to enhancing the graduate assistantships for those students to 150% of the ESU stipends at that time. So you can work through scenarios on that. Regarding capital equipment, the physical sciences are capital equipment intensive. Individual instruments can cost from tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars per instrument. We have specified as a second role assistance with the purchase of laboratory equipment that costs $10,000 or more. We also need to let our legislators know that these kinds of funds are intended to supplement, not supplant, state funds or other sources of funding. Here's some closing thoughts. Sherry and I feel honored, maybe grateful or fortunate, that we can make this gift as a product of our blood, sweat, tears, living somewhat frugally at times, and the good behavior of the stock market. That's the counterpart to we were inspired by confidence in the leadership of the university and foundation. That may be called the tipping point. We trust that will continue now and forever. Also, tomorrow, when the sun rises, I'm predicting that, please think the same of Sherry and me as you did yesterday. I was in a circumstance yesterday where I was really coy. Somebody with the media had caught wind of a gift that was going to be announced. And they wanted to know if I knew who it was. No way. Finally, Mom and Dad, don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. Thank you for your patience.
For those of you who don't know me, I am Rich Sleezer, and I'm the chair of the Department of Physical Sciences, the position that DeWayne was in for more than 2 decades. And they asked me to say a few words, so I'm going to try to keep it brief. I wear a tie for job interviews, weddings, and funerals, and if I'm going somewhere where DeWayne Backhus thinks I should wear one. I've known Dr. Backhus since I was his teaching assistant for Introduction to Earth Science Lab in 1989. In 1998, he hired me to teach Earth Science at ESU, and I hope that that decision has not caused him to have a whole lot of angst over the past 16 years. I hope I've made you proud.
I've been proud when I hired.
Thank you. He has at various times served as my boss, my counselor, my mentor, and my friend. And sometimes it's hard to wear all those hats, but he's done it well, gracefully, and been freely available with his time for me over the years. So I would be remiss if I did not say thank you to him for all his efforts to help me along the way. I wouldn't be where I am without you. DeWayne and I have some similarities and some differences. We were both born and raised in small towns in Kansas. We both grew up on farms driving John Deere tractors. We both have German ancestors. We're both graduates of Emporia State University. We're different in that I have actually bought a lottery ticket in my life. And a couple of other things that if you ask me later, I'll tell you. We both love to teach. I don't think I'll ever stop enjoying that, and I don't think you ever have either. And I think we both think that supporting student learning is the most important thing we do, both as citizens and as educators. But when you support students, it can manifest itself in many ways. DeWayne was an excellent classroom teacher, but it's all the things that he did, not in the classroom, the extra things that he did in terms of advising, finding funds to support student research, counseling them when they had problems that don't necessarily fit within academia, and in terms of careers, editing their papers more than once, and mine too, writing recommendation letters, attending concerts, art exhibits, plays, athletic events. Basically, he freely gave of his own time not asking anything for it, but appreciating your hard work. Now he and Sherry have decided to support ESU and the Department of Physical Sciences and our students in a very generous monetary fashion. So on behalf of our students, past and present, we thank you for both the gift and all the other things you've done to make ESU and the Department of Physical Sciences a better place. Thank you.
DeWayne and Sherry, I just thank you from the heart. We have the opportunity to go to a lot of basketball games, and they're sitting across from me. And I must say, I thought I would cheer a lot, but they cheer more. And in fact, they provide great advice to the referees. I know this will surprise all of you, but DeWayne has very specific ideas about calls. And Sherry supports those calls. You know, as I'm thinking about today, DeWayne and Sherry are very special to Emporia State University, now and forever. So there's been no silence in your love of Emporia State University. As many of you may know, DeWayne hasn't retired very well from Emporia State. We keep bringing him back, and when it came to thinking about someone to help frame a future roadmap, strategic plan for Emporia State University, I once again called upon my friend, DeWayne Backhus. DeWayne came in, I said, I have a great opportunity for you. He smiled. He goes, I think this is going to cost me. I said, just in time. But as we're thinking about ways of distinguishing ourselves as an institution, thinking about the things like changing the lives that we've done over the years, engaging students, providing opportunities, DeWayne, what you don't realize is that strategic plan is you. It's everything you have and continue to do for Emporia State University. You've changed many lives that are here tonight. You've engaged many people, and there's no question. And because of your efforts, many of us have had opportunities. And we thank you for that. It is amazing to me to have the opportunity not only to have you as a colleague, but more importantly as a friend, and a friend of Emporia State University. I don't think many people love the institution much more than these two. I love seeing an expression on his face, his enthusiasm, his caring, but truly it's the impact that you've made, not just because of the gift, but the impact you've made for over 4 decades. This place is better because of you, and it will continue now and continue forever to be a better place. Some may or may not know my background is in science as an undergraduate, so DeWayne and I have a few things to talk about. Then I moved over to the dark side of administration. But without a doubt, we both share one thing, is our passion for the institution, for the community, and for teaching and making a difference. So DeWayne and Sherry, thank you for your tremendous commitment to the future of the institution. It's a great place. I always say it's a great day to be a Hornet. Today is even a greater day to be a Hornet. But I want to end with simply saying that, programs like this today is just wonderful. We're inspired. So thank you for inspiring all of us. More importantly, thank you for inspiring me. So with that, go Hornets, Stingers up. And I need you to come up. Right now, I'd like to present you a very special gift. If you both would come forward. Ring the bell. Let's be sure it's working.
We don't have room for one with a tower.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I just want to reiterate, this is a really big deal. And I've known DeWayne for a long time. And to a fellow Blue Keyer, We thank you, Sherry, thank you. We appreciate your generosity, and we appreciate you being public about it, because it should inspire others. So here's to the two of you. Cheers.
Cheers.
And up to single five. Ding, 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 Thanks, Bill.
Anastasia? Oh, we're not done yet. Would you both come up for a moment? We
to do everything.
Wait, come on over for a moment. We have one other announcement, and will you help me in celebrating Sherry's birthday? Thank you all for being here. One more round of applause.
We need help with that.
We need you to eat this now and forever.